So like complete my particular emotion right now that like Jora and something maybe might be unrelaxed that something that is the after black cards or about that the kind of rebelling Dothraki warrior might be like the next strongest about like the independent Dothraki warrior. Maybe along the lines of like under like the authentic black Jora especially might be that even when so like Jora might be seeing like a person situation as black something to take advantage of for like Jorah, like basically means that Jorah defeats and brings down that Dothraki warrior. Then at that point, like Jorah might be able to like to spot and replace Khal Drogo as like the new leader to lead like the and might be that they be able to like assert like dominance and be able to like lead like the Dothraki army might be along the line like Jorah so can maybe grieving and feeling the same movement of spirit. So like the Liam trying that for like Jorah struggle his way into like defeating like the rebelling of Pachiwari. And straight after like Jorah will be bringing down the Pachiwari around those straight away Jorah asserting that down and commanding like the entirety of like the Taraki army. The borderline of that is the that has to land. None of that is like allowed to land for near that time. Uh, and interfere with like the leaders like process to be along the lines of the trains for like Jorah in a stern voice like commanding and trying to like take that leader role from now the role. It's like the legend scenario that I'm looking for the next. So it's like I'm praying for like sort of Pragyami, the remaining of the sort of Pragyami and listening to it's like the scenario that I'm looking for. So like not only my particular and right now for like the moment it's kind of like how would be gone like at that point it's a number with the thing for like simultaneously also like the a single among like the three dragon eggs that a single dragon egg hatching that it's like this another that I'm looking after that simultaneously at that point I'm looking like the law of that card over that's just happening is that it's not example. So like I'm looking at something that the killer woman might have exactly be intending might be maybe intending on like basically being that absolute such a presence that is the name of that pretty much to go out while taking that out robots as well as suppose you know it has that as the prevent might be along the lines of like maybe that's the actual intent of that the healer of the lamb everyone might be in potential that need not to preempt so that somebody brings that for the much preemption but all these three situations will be happening that at that point I'm not listening for like the try to happening that getting have to gain praise and like clean up woman or like the loss of like found was like it's not example. But like at that point I'm not becoming like the killer woman attempting to like change things around by basically like the killer woman claim that it's because of her that basically Lash cannot operate was like born right now said like basically and that is like what she meant by that bringing back Malvado to be around the nine number different like the killer woman claim at that point. And number different at that point number different with that then I was like often like being born like a different that then feeling that from like has like a purpose now that he has a new hope now that he then was at that point like I'm going to send for like the but my dad is never bring man up I'm going to be about to bring it down to be about to bring down like the moment like it's not a sad but like at that point I'm going to bring for like kind of like the to like sort of my journey to like stop like was not that I'm going to bring so like at that point like for like the like yeah me not listening to like but like at that point something like Dora standing in front of like the woman and basically shouting out to like the Ragami to like show. So like at that point I'm not listening for like the Ragami calling like and basically listening to like Dora definitely my particular everything. So that's definitely the reaction right now is that like the non suffering might we want that the woman is the period right now might have gone through in some past recent past and it might have to some today extend of struggle to find the all those past and the one from it might be that that's the different game that you might not very so like a person like I'm different in the game that we might be most likely repeatedly like to carry on might be that the actual necessity is even relevant. So like I'm so looking at like the game progress I'm really looking for like giving good scenario to be carry on everything carry on predicting about like might be exactly or not might be that actually to the case of limit so like I'm going to quick has like the game progress like I'm going to bring up calmness, like I'm talking about that changing and like really usually getting aggressive and trying to even attempting to like bring down Tyrion as the more the game progresses and like the more Tyrion will be getting it's like predictions right is like the scenario that I'm representing, which I'm totally trying for like Tyrion's black friend most likely will stop and stuff from so is like the scenario that I'm representing. And at that point I'm representing a sort of like not the black containing yes, synthetic amount cerebral performance, a lot of that I get really, really happening and get like carry on surviving and getting taken captive by and that yeah, like I'm trying and then taking carry on to that thing that is usually and at that point I'm trying Joffrey ordering and putting her to put carry on in an kind of stage like it's not that I'm trying get like I'm injury and like the managing to like survive and escape. Then there are luxury of the escape fashion to that's the very distant future around the world. Luxury of by sheer coincidence that the running is this exact moment. It's like the typical scenario that I'm going to bring. And at that point, I'm going to bring that for luxury on and to get married. So that the leave my 2 million person for luxury on front along to that most likely non end up surviving that the battle against that of some reflecting the scenario that was one that the lead man to be revolution right now for that of the spirit delay and the something for that about armies to legitimate aim towards like the location of that side armies that the scenario that so like at that point that of the army that's showing that captured Jamie and basically at that point demanding that basically that Sidon ordering Sidon to that current Sidon and like army that sort of anxiously that demanding that like they want Sidon as well to be their captain or else they will bring down Jamie to be around the lines and then bring that the hope at that point telling Sidon that was not that like at that point I'm looking for like Sidon like most likely to that the scenario that I'm looking for like to James at that point for like the game is like I'm sort of screenshot like I'm looking at that point Tiger most likely seeing Jamie like a failure for like losing like the bad against that of army and at that point I'm notifying that Tiger most likely like declare that yeah about uh failed Jamie to be along the lines of different that they can do with that at least with like Jamie and along the lines like private declaring a way like the private order is like to bring down around news like saying it's not that important. So like that way I'm notifying I know that happening and basically in that band up well I'm notifying for that of me defeating that Titan government that was not that I'm not so like I'm notifying for that and one battle between that of and Titan happening and that of some new defeating Titan while enduring to that that job Titan and I that was not that I'm not at that point, I'm not going for Nigerian to be feeling absolutely so really proud of land of the Robert that not incredible for the and but they would have captured Thailand and at that point when I'm most likely beyond in an extremely camera and reckless manner like I'm not different without seeing like the potential of like the exchange like I'm not different for like beyond most likely bringing out Thailand soon after that Robert out visitor and captured Thailand like not that I'm not different. So, and I'm only playing in that battle as well. I'm only playing for almost like also like the lot of that bronze Tyrion's friend support as well. With exactly happening most likely by in a battle against Black Rock as well. It's also like a major scenario that I'm looking for. So, after like, so I could imagine the train after like talking down of that title. I'm the only playing for like a rock most likely spotting that Tyrion. Uh, at that point would be in that aspect of that all that might be that we identify that if that is not and the different. So at that point I'm looking for like them capturing the real as well it's like the China that I'm looking again. That way that's the of army heading off to land the kinetic to like save stuff and through an exchange to an exchange of the game and the this lectures with an army that I'm looking for lagi yang betul-betul by then in like the planning a budget and for like pro some the people can like adapt friendly kids that is deductible for like corner and selected us to people to like about to tell that we recognize the job like like the new thing that would that very moment is when about the thing just like another possibility that I'm looking to be when exactly when like the end of like lack of and then like army that game that happening with like the other way to not spend about it. That way, like I'm going to bring it up, adapt to save that usually seeing like the capture seeing. So like at that point, I'm looking for like some people like for like the dark like stuff, and at that point, adapt finally getting freed and basically sons as well. At that point, going along with that adapt as well as that as well as getting, and at that point, I'm looking that as well as getting like a curious man of like demanding the like I so like at that point, I'm looking that the repeatedly telling them that like idea had escaped that they don't know the idea. So like at that point of never playing for like none of that and the family being convinced and all by the words. But at that point is when I was different maybe for like the teacher of that idea. I'm so different maybe even to point might have contacted somewhere, but so different maybe what might have happened back then might have been after like ensuring that idea escape that so different the teacher of that the course team based of that area might have in as well might have been from the command might have been one might have happened the lead might have been after like storing enough time for that idea to like get to that safety might have been what might have happened the lead might have been. So like at that point is when I'm looking maybe for like the entrance of like so it teacher of that area happening and like in confirming what that he will be saying that we see that area that he has been showed like areas escape is like not that I'm looking things. And that when I'm looking for that adapt and champion that going to lead it that things landing and right before leaving that adapt once again while looking at like it's staring at like something as soon as you're feeling and then that once again shouting out from the down to this down around that they could see that team doesn't touch out recognize job rate as like the new thing that basically that stands like only reserving right for the serving one to like the throne after like Robert to be the line number between like without shouting and then without and that can be needed like the Atlantic right until the and the operator collapse to the end to the leading and right there yet at the same time center is like the the daily well at that point will be free would be sitting and looking better like not being able to end at that point it's not that under the frame so like I'm from that point on I'm going to bring back the sub for like idea and something like that of ordering from the something like ordering intensive sub for like idea who is like a dot as well who be joining in on the club. But like I'm wondering over how hard they would use it to form like idea that when not only have like my ideas like really been out that I would bring and the friend that like in that idea the case like I'm looking for my idea in that case usually making it to a remote distant village that is still in the scenario inside of the bit from that village like I'm different there like idea making new friends and like there like I'm talking like the growth of like idea as like a soul woman like so like happening is that that is the so I'm just like feeling the truth of the name that is different and that I'm different in the index of the of that idea to be most likely making something better to when to like the one of the range of them right that like the great extent of change and like chapter of that one might have happened to that change of like the both of that the great extent of like past years of that change that life under like the whole of that thing robot might have been that that certification that limit the effort to that they might have set out much that or might have started in that their regret that betraying and some care might have been exactly the case of the level for them and that they all like about a great number of years like and that regret might have really changed Jamie into that shortening up that returning Jamie into an individual that such who prefers lack victory over survival. So that's really where we're ambition right now for lack both further as well as ideas to learn right now witness that the shocking law of lack the protecting the platform of this like very good scenario of the finance that will like have the effect on that both sides as well as idea eventually as they will be showing up into like the institute of like I'm trying that as well as idea and the simple turning into individuals who will be that exactly that attack to be the focus private and protecting that the honor and putting the honor about venting and everything else is that the enough that I'm going to put so that definitely not very important right now in comments so the complicated that I'm looking for that for like the healer woman to using her using magic to like end up actually succeeding in that putting back card robo but like at that point I'm pretending for that card robos to be totally completed when that invasion at that point for like card robos to be more heartless and that more commanding as well as like card robo at that point to not be having any love within the adjust towards left and yet at the same time that's the only thing card over his mind the new card over his mind would be only about like the wall and that's basically to fulfill like the wall would be that's the only thing that new card over his mind at that point is not that I'm so that card over that's the moment he would be that getting going north back like at that point itself down the when time the one of like the dragon like had it and like a tiny dragon appearing and basically as well as that the healer was helping that and basically then has option as well. All these three things happening simultaneously that's not that about the fans. Straight away that and the things not about caring at all about that seller or something and not about straight away that's the moment security that like that now the new card for the straight away commenting that the black was right there made to that straight away to that is that they have to like straight away make it to that again and to get on the line and those things that are and I don't think in order to them that was not excited about the lecture and all of the straight away make it to that the fourth time we compare that the hitting not about the next end of the circle for example made of the post like getting on to the expected that's not that I'm really fine. So why not this will be happening like I'm really looking for black about and just being absolutely shocked by like the job like that was definitely meant for them and that when I'm looking for like a film from a you have to be encouraged and at that when I'm looking for like Theons to like once again so that to like get about to that bring down game is like it's not that I'm going to so like at that when I'm looking for like an obstacle even though I'm considered like even a position would be bad in wanting to bring down really I'm going to still I'm notifying them thinking sensibly and basically thinking about actually like the relevance of like exchange and basically at that point I'm noticing like about like the distance to like focus on like the exchange and savings transfer as well as that area and after like the exchange for election to definitely print out like the story like then begin planning and actually planning on to be along the lines of like the decision that like amount of people taking at that point like not that I'm going to so like to which like beyond that when would get out later second that you know like of like with knowledge that and the leading man for them is to be more likely beyond that the people now silent while like at least put together get your knowledge that and so that's that way of bringing out trying I mean like and don't different like them gathering Tyrion and basically like taking the gather Tyrion and seeing like different then making it to of making it to like the things that he had by then I'm looking like to most likely use all through that um to that close like the border of like settings landing is like now or like your settings that giving the order to like for all the entrance for towards like the things landing that to your walls of a tightly turned on like not that I'm perfectly so that way like I'm perfectly and I'm perfectly that right now with that easy to that infiltrate into that the things landing of like the border up close might be that against the plane of terrain so that hope and to like end up army while they will be uh standing would be like brainstorming and trying to like, figure out a way to like infiltrate into that city planning at that point I'm looking for by then like the of my army would have made it and so and basically by then I'm looking for that to one of like the birds of like subsidies that like I'm looking for so they most likely learning of like the kingdom of the army as well that is not that I'm notified and also different by then although that stands with army as well might be although under different exactly doing that when you'll be in something sure that would be heading towards like against that in it's not that about so that all the things happening and like so at that point that I'm going that then use strategy of like keeping that to the border close so that like every before like that they will be hoping that like Sofian they will be hoping that before they will be figuring out the way to like infiltrate into that the things landing that before that said that all the other Kingdom army would not like stand it until like the Trakiam will make it to like the things landing and basically uh, at that point like all these three armies would be batting against each other and basically while through that battle while these three armies will be getting weaker that extremely weak that at that point for like alone for them to like open the border then for like them to like unleash like the things landing armies and at that point that's for like against landing armies to then take advantage of like the weakened state of like these three armies to like begin them in the ground and to like capture them and take them as like do that reflect all of might as well as the things like army as well as like the police job it would be also planning on the game including less than that, that should have standard as well. So then after that, like order when select over at that point in the game is that so that the capture of the capture of like and after the family that and I went to that to put that in second I think I say I like that from the action the bad result that to be along the lines of the playing that part of the game is that it's not that of the selecting happening accordingly to the select the scenario that I was again the game playing like the battle of the playing for that a battle that between the news part of the against like stand as well as or as well happening not exactly so like the initial battle of that Cargo unbroken price initial main battle of Cargo unbroken price to be against like stand in this like Cargo something probably engineering a form for defeated and bring it out stands as network now that have not been to be soon after that pattern will bring that and it's started getting that home and the new Cargo happening like not exactly those and in that battle when I'm looking at that following strength of Cargo that so the bring that Cargo also following up family to get it off as well next not that and those things not to be Cargo about that bring down off as well but like that will last like when I'm looking for like hope to be on that when you want to be yeah so that have to really figure out injured family and face like snark that I'm not so like at that point feel like it didn't have to stop like as like robot to be about to bring down the water that will have the different number of bring one of like the one of like a strong warrior of like setting that so the thing from behind like bring down cargo that is not that about the so that and I'm noticing during that whole that flat and that is the game three different armies that I'm noticing like that flash so the thing is like Tyrion as well as the captured Tyrion as well as last game and I think to like escape. So that at that point I'm noticing about like I'm to be getting gathered and basically at that point I'm noticing like something wanting like Joffrey to like in the order to like bring down and might be the case that we not for instance. So that them bring that Joffrey given I don't different for like the moment like Joffrey would be seeing like the tiny dragon with that kind of like the not that so like at that point like Joffrey 23 by the dragon and this game at that point I'm not going like the dragon to be only taking orders tiny dragon to be only taking orders from the next sex not example so like at that point I'm only playing like Joffrey being extremely fixed by the dragon and Joffrey badly wanting like to hear the left control that and give orders to that the dragon so like I'm sort of playing for like Joffrey that give out the order to next person channel like and the conference that was not that about it. And like Geoffrey also giving the order to that kind of that basically then to like survive and then have to like ensure to like train like and to like take orders from Geoffrey. Is like in the scenario the order that Geoffrey will begin to like and that was like yeah that way I'm not at that point for last and that reflects the remaining of that and it's except for like idea and not the Gatlin as well as like of as well as like Tenor as well as the Jora like all of the things put into like an important kind of state also along with like Syrian as well like for also the order of selecting Syrian as well. It's that so that all of them being put into like an important kind of state at that time landing at that point that's now parameter